Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshwara, Guru Sakshat Parabrahmam, Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Good morning to you.
Yes,
So, thank you very much, Balaji, for having this satsang. So, I thought maybe we will call it Vedanta Darshana. So, we'll understand what does it mean, and why do we have to understand this? Why do we have to learn this? Many things may be all already known to you, but every time we go back to these things, it gives a new insight to this. So bear with me if I say something which you already know, but it is useful to go back and then refresh. But before we do that, we have to understand the importance of satsang. Satsanga Mahatmyam is the most profound insight that we should really value, because the Vedanta and the understanding the Vedanta can really put you in a very, what I can say, a complex mental situation if you don't really follow, if you don't have the emotional purity to approach it. That's why when you are in a satsang, all this deficiency in us go away. We have a satsang here. So we must value this satsang. We must really thrive on this and improve on it, because satsang becomes a sadhana, a hetu. Hetu means a means to achieve the goals. There's a great slogan, we all know that in the Govindam. Satsangatve nissangatvam, nissangatve nirmohatvam, nirmohatve nischalatatvam, nischalachatve jivan mukti. Let's assume that we have no idea about our goals in life, which we don't, to be honest with you. What the satsang does, the word satsang means sat. Let's currently take sat as something good. There are a lot of meaning into this. Let's say something good. Hitam. Shreyas. Sangaha means assembly. What happens when you go to satsang? The first benefit is it gives you away from what is not a good company. Nitsangatva. Why do we have to choose the company? Because at the end of the day, mere intellectual means to whatever you want to achieve is not going to help. Mere emotional purity will not give you that complete goal, which we do not know what the goal is yet. But if you are in a good company, this all get modulated. The bad company should be avoided. So when you are in satsang, at least for the duration of the time. But if you are a very sincere aspirant, even before you come to the satsang, because you are preparatory time. And when you finish the satsang, when you contemplate on what you have been talking to others or hearing from others, therefore you can see the time expands in good vishaya, sat vishaya. So satsang maybe 30 minutes, 1 hour what we conduct, but it can have an impact of 5 hours, 6 hours, eventually 24 hours. So therefore the immediate tangible benefit is you are away from the company that you do not want to have. But what is the point of that? If you do not need to be in a bad company but in good company, we don't know what is good and bad yet, but let's say that good company is what we want to prefer. But just being there, don't need to talk, don't need to do anything, but being there, listening to Shravanam. You'll see what is Shravanam. Because before we go to the Vedanta, we just take few words and understand those words, because they are like instruments, like fork and knife and scissors. We need to know how to handle them. But what this does, it removes moham. Nischandatve nirmohatva. Moha means delusion. Delusion in the mind, in the intellect. Delusion, when you're deluded mind, see, when the mind is not happy, peaceful, that is one thing. But the consequence of the lack of peace in the mind is when intellect is deluded. The delusion leads to two things. One, it thinks what is right as wrong. More dangerous thing, what is wrong as right. So if you combine these two, what is right becomes wrong and what is wrong becomes right, you do things which you should not be doing. You will become strong on that belief that you will continue to do those things in a perpetual decline from progress. This is called samshara. It's called vishadam. Arjuna Vishadam, the first chapter, Arjuna is deluded, the moham. Here it says, by being satsang, you remove the moham, delusion. You may think, I don't have any delusion, and my mind is clear. But the delusion comes, moha comes from shoga, from grief. When you are happy, generally the mind is not deluded. But when you have fear or grief, that's where mind becomes very agitated, blood pressure shoots up, you can't think very well. So the root cause of moha is shoga. Therefore, nirmohatva means shogam is also gone naturally. The grief is gone. But if you really think, why do we feel sad? Why do we grieve? Because we had attachment on things. The attachment is called ragam. So ragam is the like and dislikes, ragadvesham. When you have expectation, attachments, you have grief. When you grieve, you get deluded. So raga, shoga, moha, collusion is vishadam, is samsara. So here what Bhagavan says, Shankara says, just being in the satsang can give you clarity of thought, which means it naturally removes the grief, naturally removes the attachment. Please don't take attachment, leaving attachment means that you be loveless. No. Detachment is not hate. Renunciation is not giving up, but holding up with certain respect. Detachment is love, but not desire. It's unconditional. One who is detached has got emotional freedom. Emotional freedom is not having emotions that weaken your personality. Oh my God, I lost this one. Oh my God, he's in difficulty, in attachment. That's emotional attachment. That doesn't let you think very clearly. But emotional freedom is you still love the person, you still do what you need to do, but you are free from this. Because you have nirmoham, because you have delusion gone, you have clear mind, you get into nischala tattva, like achala, unmoving, steady, steadfast focus, unshakable. See, why are we building all these things? To have a good company. The good company gives you very good, clear mind, chitta suddhi. Then you get a steadfast intellect. Why all this? Because it gives you Jivan Mukti. Jivan Mukti, therefore in this, what it says, the whole outcome of Vedanta Darshana, whether you like it or not, whether you know it or not, our goal is going to be Jivan Mukti. You may say that, look, I don't have those goals. My goals are very simple. I need to live a happy life, make lots of money, help others. I don't even worship God. I just be a good person. Well, that is Jivan Mukti. But when it is backed by a complete delusion-free mind, when it is complete attachment-free mind, and it is backed by a steadfast focus, one becomes liberated in this very life. Mukti is not dying, Mukti is living with great freedom. Unfortunately, that word has been used in a connotation where when somebody is dead, we say they reached Mukti, they reached God's feet somewhere. If everything is going to be after disembodiment, that is not a science that we need. We need something which makes our life superior, better, free, now, today. That's Jivan Mukti. Therefore, we need to know what is his goal. Jivan Mukti, what is his goal? Because many of us may not even thought about this goal. So understanding the goal is the first goal. Secondly, reaching the goal is the ultimate goal. So the Vedanta Darshana basically, therefore, gives us the goal that we need to have and provide the means to reach the goal. So we need help. Is there any question on this? Okay. So what is it? And why do we do it? If we need a kind of a kick in the back to understand that this is something which we should do. Who is better than King is in the back? Bhagavan Shankara says, Idakon Vasti Moodatma. He calls Moodatma. You're a fool. How can you be a fool? Having got this body, the two masculine body, okay, he just talks about men, but you can say that anybody, a healthy body. Having got the healthy body, and if you are not thinking about your ultimate goal, what's the point? So it is as if there is something very special being a human being if you don't know this, and we are missing it. We all respect Shankara and such great seers. So if they say something, there must be something truth in it. So we say, yeah, okay, I'll come back and listen to you, but what am I missing? I keep saying this because Vedanta, to understand, see, you can have an intellectual understanding. You can take a book, there are so many books, so many great books, tutorials. You can read by yourself, get knowledge on it. But assimilation is different from understanding. Vedanta is, we will see it in great detail, it's a science which needs to be applied in every step to go to the next step. You have to really prove that what you hear is right for you. Because any samsaya means any doubt. See, doubt is a great enemy in life. Because once you have a doubt on things that you do, you can never do it well. You can never appreciate what you've done. You never value it. So anything that you do have to be done where there is no doubt in what you do. You can't say, Chalta hai, just start. On the process you will learn. No. Even in ordinary walks of life, in official capacity or at domestic work, anything that you do, doubt should come. But executing without clarifying the doubt, it's not progress. But in this science, there will be lots and lots of questions, lots and lots of doubts. So we need help. So in these two words, Vedanta Darshana, the beauty about the whole Vedantic learning is that, of course, there are hundreds and hundreds of texts. The insight of Vedanta, the import of Vedanta, could come even from one single word. Because it is about utilizing your mental capacity and the focus and just assimilating this. And darshana is a beautiful word. We normally say darshana means a pratyaksha darshanam, seeing somebody in form.
In person.
Yeah, in person. But that is just one aspect of it. Darshana is anena iti. What all you can perceive, conceive, is darshan. In other words, the knowledge is darshan. Seeing in person is one pratyaksha darshanam by your eyes. The hearing, shravanam, gives you knowledge. That's a great darshan. So all this scriptural text, like it's called yoga darshanam, Gita darshanam, all this it means bringing out the import, the knowledge of the text, so that we can assimilate into our mind. I just wanted to say a few things why I'm going around in circles before we get into a text proper. Why can't we just take a text of Viveka Chudamani or something like that and then start reading it and go by the word meaning of it? We may know Sanskrit, we may know the grammar. Why can't we do that? Of course we can do that. We all should do that. But there is also a need to go back to the same text. This time, after understanding how to know, how to read, how to reason out the Vedanta, then the whole text will look very different. The same sloga of Gita or any such text, when you go back, reading it, understanding it, with the Vedantic perspective of it, all will come into picture. I just give one example of why we need this one in a methodical way. Normally we will say Vedanta means, Tattvamasi is a great sentence. Everybody say Tattvamasi it tells you everything. What does it tell you? Tad Tvam Asi. You are that. What does it say? It does not say anything that is useful or relevant when you take the meaning of it. It's called Vachyartha. In any text, any word, becomes a shabda only if it doesn't have an artha. Right? Shabdartha Brahma means the word should have a meaning. Of course, there are mantras, bija mantras, they are just a shabda matra.
What should have a meaning?
Is that a question? Okay. So we will have exception to this. But generally, in any knowledge, a text has got a words got a meaning. The meaning called, a literal meaning called Vashyartha. The rule is when you read anything, study something, you must take the literal meaning. That's the first step. You must do it. And there are certain constructive rules in grammar. Only when the literal meaning is not correct in the context, then you go for Lakshyartha. What is the intended meaning of it? So we should be able to differentiate when you read something, what is the Vashyartham for this? Of course, we take from teachers who is expert in the language and the grammar to tell you what it is. Then sometimes it doesn't really correlate to the experience that we have. Then we go back to the teacher again and ask them, it sounds fine in literal sense, but what does it actually mean? Then they must to have a lakshyartha. Like, mom will say, okay, to the child, every day 6 o'clock you must do Sandhya Vandanam, or you must go and do this study, do the maths work, 6 o'clock. So one day, some visitors are there, the child is playing. Mom just looks at the child and say, 6 o'clock. Right? What does the child do? Good child. It gets up and go to the study. See, the 6 o'clock has a completely different Vashyartham. It's called Vyangya Vritti in Sanskrit. It is the contextual meaning. A visitor to the house would not understand what the 6 o'clock means to the child. But the mother and the child knows it. Because there is an intimacy, there is an understanding. So many such great phrases of Vedanta in Upanishad, in Gita, has got a context. The context is between the Guru and the Sishya, or between the teachers, between the friends. So if we do not have the context understood, but if you go with a pure technical merit of it, even if you take Tattvamasi, I'm just throwing a few things on right now so that you understand the gravitas of this studying problem of Vedanta. Then we can talk in a very elementary step to go there. So Shankara says Tattvamasi is a tadatmyam. It's called a samadhikarana statement. Therefore it is true. But he said that because in Shankara's time there are a lot of arguments about what is right, what is not right. And therefore he has to explain in those contexts. What do I mean by this? Suppose if I say Dasharatha Putraha Dharmastabhaga Dayaluhu Ramaha Gacchati. Very simple, right? Dasharatha Putraha, who is the son of Dasharatha, Dharmastabhaga, who establishes Dharma, Dayaluhu, one who is compassionate, Rama Gacchati. It's gone. Very simple sentence. So Rama is the same meaning but gives in different names. Dasharatha Putraha Rama, Dayalu Rama, Dharmastabhaga Rama. When a sentence is like this, if you remove the verb, if each of those things, they must be on the same vibhakti. It will be all the same case, okay? Then it's called Samadhikarana Vakya. So Shankara says, if you look at this one, so Tattvamasi, Tadil, Tvam, there are two nouns. Same vibhakti, therefore they are equal. So you are that. If that is God and you are God. How ridiculous it is to us. It has sense grammatically, yes. But he has to do it because he was arguing against somebody who was arguing differently. Some of those Vasishtha-Advaitam will say, no, this kind of Samagati doesn't work. When I say blue ocean exists, blue is ocean is ocean, but blue is not equal to ocean. Is it not? The blue represents the sea, ocean represents the sea. Same vibhakti. Can we therefore say blue is ocean? No, you can't. But here blue is not, it's a vishesha, it's adjective, you can't do it. So then there is a lecture goes on, why that is wrong, why this is right. This is where this dry philosophy adage comes to Vedanta. So by going to Vedanta with such an intellectual ability that I can understand the words, I can understand the grammar, I can understand logically, therefore I have a derived interpretation of it, is very dangerous. So the reason therefore is that if you go with the mind, there has got an intensity of purpose to reach it. We will have an ability to understand Vedanta very quickly. Therefore we need help. Balaji, how long we have time?
Well, Raj can tell us how long can we extend this meeting?
No, I'm not saying extending it, we can stop it, but I just want to know.
No, there is no, I've not put any limit, so it's not a problem. There's nothing, no constraint that way.
So, Raja, you can go up to some logical point. You don't have to abruptly stop your talk.
Okay, so I'll just do 5 more minutes and bring to a break to this.
No abrupt end.
No, sure. So far what I was trying to say is that satsangam is a fantastic opportunity to progress in life. It leads to a goal. The goal is called Jivan Mukti, but I don't have an idea whether that is my goal. But that needs to be my goal, because my goals may be very different right now, to lead a very happy, peaceful life in this world. Therefore, I may change Jivan Mukti to something else, I don't know. But if Satsangam can give me that goal, and also the means to reach the goal, then we are for it. So by the very reason, it's not the COVID-19 that makes us sit together, but there is also a reason that we have a real intensity to learn. And I'm hoping, therefore, that intensity is to identify that goal which we all should share. And we also learned that this human birth, if we don't do it, in Shankara's term, we are fools. So therefore we are very sensitive. We don't want anybody to call us fools. Even though he is Shankara, I am not a fool. Therefore we need to really rise up to the occasion. Yes, I am going to leverage on my human birth and understand what this is. Knowledge. And this knowledge cannot come from intellectual pursuit alone. Therefore we need some fantastic tool sets to handle it, because definitely we don't have long life to just dwell on grammatical structure of it. So the two qualities that we need is clear mind and steadfast intellect. Again, we need help for it. So we just take the one phrase so that let's be convinced that Shankara is right to blame us if we don't take up this as fools. So we ask the question, why is human birth so precious? It is very rare to be born as a human being. Many in the Western thoughts would think, how do you prove it? So birth is an accident, is a random event. So when you go into this argument, when you sought to prove that he is wrong and I am right, you are not in satsang anymore. Because your energy, your spirit of fighting would be taking you away from the satsang. It's very important. Naresh asked me a question some time back, we should really fight all these things. Absolutely we should fight. But we should fight not to prove that they are wrong, but to show that we are right. And to do that, you have to equip yourself to stand on the pedestal to demonstrate without wasting your effort in fighting the war with them. There's a difference. You are still engaging with them, you are still proving that this is the right path to do, but just doing what needs to be done. The best way to compare, to prove this, that it is a durlabham, it is very difficult to be born as a human being, is to show that we are different because we have an intellect. And there's a famous slogan, everybody knows about it. If you compare this human being to the most evolved life form, the animals, we have something in common with animals. What is that? Akaram, we need to eat. We need to eat. Even a Maharshi had to eat. Even Krishna Bhagavan used to eat. He was begging for food, is it not? So food is common. Animals eat, we eat. Sorry? And we have to sleep. Sleep is a blessing. Sleeping is given to us. Animals have to sleep. All the animals sleep. You can see all the birds making chick-chack sounds, and the evening comes in, they all go back to their places of sleep. Everything sleeps. So sleep is a natural instinct. Bhayam, fear is there. Protection. The fear of shelter, fear of food, fear of future life. That's why we work hard. Animals also fear. And then we also have to procreate. We need to generate our lineage. We have love, we have sex. Animals do that. Maithunam. These are all natural instinct. So if I take my life, so there's no difference. So I can just say that I am like a monkey, I am like a lion. They do the same thing. No, but I have something else, you have something else, we have something else. It's called buddhi, intellect. Because with buddhi, intellect, we are able to discriminate things. The fear of us is different from fear of an animal. You take a sheep, somebody may be driving the goats to the butcher's shop, right? Imagine this. And one goat is slaughtered. What will the other goat do? He'll be happily eating the grass. Why is not afraid of it? When you take a stone and try to hit it, it'll run away. But somebody else is, the same company, his sister, brother, somebody is slaughtered now, he's not afraid. Because fear in animals only come from natural instinct. They do not have a mind. They are not afraid to death. Death has no meaning to them. But we have a mind. We can think. The buddhi, that's the intellect. Buddhi is a form of mind. Therefore, what do we have? Because of that, we have swatantriyam. Swa means self. Swatantra. So you can do things independently, a free will. No other living beings have this capacity to think, therefore capacity to have a free will. What does it mean? If you have a free will, you can reshape your life. There's a lot of insight in this. People just say, the blind believers, they, oh, everything is karma, vidhi, prarabdham, I can't do anything. If it is so simple, everything is fatalistic, God decides everything, might as well, I don't care about anything anymore. Why should I do anything at all? If it's all going to happen by God's will. No. It is a free will. There is a free will for you to change, reorient your shape. That is why Shankara says, and all this Shastra says, human birth is very special, very rare. So as a result, what we should do, therefore, we should set up our goals. Purushartha. Here, there are two words. We'll go in detail later. Purushaha means human beings. Here, Artha means the goal, the sadhyam, what you want to achieve in life. So the free will, therefore the goals are only for human beings. So Purushartha, the Purusha is actually redundancy because no animals can set the goals in life. Only human can set the goals in life. Therefore, setting goals is an important privilege for human beings. So therefore, if you do not have a goal in life, what I'm going to do tomorrow, next week, next month, next year, you are losing a great privilege that you're given to you. Getting up, chalta hai, life goes away, whatever it comes, it's like animal life. The swatantriyam should be used, but there is also a risk there. I would say it's called swa ichcha chara. That means you can also act at your will. You split into three parts. Swa means self, ichcha means your desire, chara means that path of doing that. So there's a slight difference between acting at will and shaping the free will to a prescribed goal. So I put a red box to show it's a risk. So I'll try to follow this approach. So that when I put red box, it means something risk we need to manage. So therefore, what we learn from this is that as a human being, we have the mind and intellect. Therefore, we have the free will to make a goal. But if you're not careful, our ability to do whatever we want will take our life away from the goal. So we need to manage the risk, leverage the capability, set up the goal, and go on. So Vedanta, please don't come to Vedanta with the view that there is a kind of a mantram, jabam, Swami Naividhyam, and then therefore return back. No. If you really carefully read Bhagavad Gita, nowhere until you come to the later part, Bhagavan talks about God. I'm not saying God is not there or anything like that. I'm saying if you are understanding that the purpose of the study is to uplift your life, you must ask the question, prayojanam, what is the prayojanam? What is the use for me in doing anything in life? It's not a very selfish question. People think, oh, Bhagavan says you should not be selfless. No, that is different. Here is adhyatmika progress. You don't need help, benefit for your own embodied life, but you always need help, returns for your spiritual life. The prayojanam should be always for, if there is something not giving a spiritual benefit to you, that act should not be done. It become a big the karma that you should not be doing it. So, therefore, what we need is the free will to set the goals and to act, and not going out of it. So we need help. So I would probably stop it here, so that in summary, in one sentence or two sentences maybe, what is important today is that there's a rare opportunity. We are born, our goals can be refined for spiritual progress. Satsang helps. Through satsang, we are able to do the Vedanta Darshana. The Vedanta Darshana is about understanding Vedanta, not just in etymological, linguistic, grammatical, logical way, but also emotional, purity, intellectual, combined with the Chiddasuddhi. I have to therefore get those things, steps in order. So luckily when you have the next session, you will take it forward to the next one. Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you very much, Raja. Clearly you have invested a lot of...
Om Asato Ma Sadgamaya.
Asadoma Sadgamaya.
Sadgamaya. Tamaso Ma Jyotirgamaya.
Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya.
Pratyoma Amritangamaya.
Pratyoma Amritam Gamaya.
Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.
Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.